back with Operation Get Me Out of a Realm Reborn. I'm Kortra. We are going to hop right into a trial because I poked Vengzersh and I said, hey, I just realized earlier today when I had to log off, I stopped right in front of a trial. Please. I think that Fang's going to be able to carry me, so let's try to get this knocked out, because glancing at the MSQs ahead of me, I think this is the last big hurdle before Heavensward, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm good to go when you are, Vang, standing right in front of this shadowy entrance. And do I just click it and I need to oh, how does this work again? I got to go to the duty finder and click the gear, unrestricted party, confirm. Oh, you got it? Okay, do I not need to do anything? Okay, that's just run around, look pretty. Great. I'll try my best. Running around I can do. I can do that part for sure. We'll see about the second half. I didn't realize it till earlier. I look like Bayonetta in ballet class. Wild. Oh wow, we're just hopping straight to it then, aren't we? Thank you, Vang. Oh. Crass Jonathan. Oh, that's a lot of damage. I'm gonna stand on Vang and assume that's the answer. This looks pretty ominous. This might hit hard in a second. Okay. You know, for a second I thought of switching to Scholar. It's like a bubble.
Are you winning, son?
I'm with Vang, so I feel safe. I feel secure. I've died. I think I'm still gonna win. I think we're still okay.
Ta-da!
Wow. Yay! That went faster. Thank you, Vang. Thank you for the hard carry there. I appreciate you. Went faster than the test. Yeah, I hit carried us. Yeah. Just about. That phase of the ores, everyone has to soak them in alternation. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, usually when they're like floaty orbs in a video game heading towards a boss, you said you have to jump on them so they don't get to the boss. If you let them eat too many, then it's instant death. Okay, so with save and Philia, that was surprising. Like, it just kind of hopped straight into that, didn't it? Usually there is a big old build-up to this stuff, but...
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
Need more determination for Tears of the Kingdom. Jesus. Oh, are we gonna do it now? We're gonna throw the Master Ball at him?
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this?
Is it working?
No! Cannot! No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free. Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me. I shall make you pay for your insolence.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louis Soir.
No.
Understands now
No, come on.
you made in death. There is life.
No, I like her.
Farewell, Urianger.
That escalated quickly.
Come on. Yeah, why can't it be Alphino? Alphino has got ether. Someone please get Alphino. Oh. Piss.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
So we're gonna have to sacrifice somebody every time we do this?
She's gone.
Man.
You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead.
Come on.
This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands. Does Ariange know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens. Yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Sharlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered, and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
I liked Moonbreeder, but I feel like we didn't have a whole lot of time to get all of that. I mean, you know, we got like the skeletal setup of like who she is and what she's doing, her attachments and all this, these people, but she wasn't really around in the grand scheme of things a whole lot.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Anyway. It's like the worst time to share that story. You just had voices. Okay, that's fine. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlayan Manor to celebrate Moonbreeda's life and mourn her passing. They're judging me. They're judging me. That's what they're doing. Okay. None of these really mean anything to me. I haven't started using materia yet. As Moonbreeda was a native of Charlayan, I feel it only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? It is a monument found in Rathfrost. It is sacred to Allag, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul and bid a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. So as I can tell you, one more trial. Oh shit. Okay. Is it close?
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not. And you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
fair exchange.
A lot of help you were.
Other bargains will be struck.
Bigger Zomer just pops up to talk shit now. That's cool, I guess. That's very helpful. Much more helpful than, you know, Heidelin backing me up. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent is my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree? Now is when we get all the cutscenes. 'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Munbrida, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to the fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. Victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. Have you a moment? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Munbrida's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Hey, it's Phaedwin. Great. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would... Moon? Moan? Moon. I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping about like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed it in order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago. It's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at best of times, and well, this is one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you and the daisy at Wraithfrost. Do you have me the last 2 thumbnails? What can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldritch trinket to trade. Hey, they got you running errands now. Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. That's what I was thinking. You had a cookie? Oh, was it a special cookie? Seriously though, you best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking about the Chocobo stables next. I know, that's what I'm saying! Rowena gets me. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The Moon Daisy, was it? Here then, take it. And tell that idle ass, got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. Gods knows she needs to. Big and full of chocolate chunks. Nice, I made cookies last night. And by made cookies, I mean I put the Pillsbury cookie dough on a pan and put it in the oven and didn't burn it. Rowena can be so annoying. She would just not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. When I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. Munbrida loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Well, that's not good. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moonbreeda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Kurthis will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear a report. Isn't that the guy that she wanted to take their spot? Yes. Yes, he was nowhere to be found. Any other time, he's right in the middle of the action, even if... and especially when he's not wanted. But this one time where I was like, oh my god, someone has to sacrifice themselves? Alpha, no, it's your moment. It's your moment, buddy, oh pal. Nowhere to be seen. Figures. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forgo the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dragonians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emmerich himself sallied forth with a contingent of Temple Knights, and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We would not withstand a second wave should the Dragonians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. Is the reinforcements you seek, then? We do, though it pricks our pride. It is plain we cannot protect... What? Every P word in the English language is crammed into this sentence. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot predict Ishgard with our ranks. Protect Ishgard with our ranks, thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Emmerich would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Kurthis at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braids is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf. I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations, and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event your plea does receive a favorable answer, I know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Emmerich's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Megarzoma and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Yeah, how's this going to work out? Because I've got like a dragon patron, and they're fighting dragons. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. But seeing the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Idwin. I don't know that that's going to be the most political outcome, Jonathan.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
So this was the vessel for Shiva. And... is she doing it again?
Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus.
That's not good.
Feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Seems I was the swift of fate when you two, however, have arrived with the time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell us some men are trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. Our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Heretic scum. Heretic scum. How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. It seemed the heretics struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretics' treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. So, am I gonna have to fight Lady Iceheart before? Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Harshfont will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. It is reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters on the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. I think Harshfont likes me. Ah, but you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat with you in the intercessory. Greetings, madam. Shall I show you inside? It's weird that that's instanced. Thank you for coming with such haste, and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Ishgard and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphino, I think it more important than ever that this meeting takes place. Rest assured I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally. Estinian. I was gonna say Einstein. What's that face? What's that face I made? Is this a super dragoon? Look at that armor. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. So you were the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fares sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Ishgard's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captive at the assault on the gates. It would seem that Lady Ishgard and the Dravanians share a common goal: reclamation of Nidog's stolen eye. Nidog, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history. Though once defeated by the hero Haldreth, the beast is said to have terrorized Kurthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidog's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldreth plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidog, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. So we're just having conversations with herself now. Like Migerzomer isn't even like popping up visually. I'm just like looking at the corner of my eye without any indication to anyone else. It just looks like I'm eye rolling at this in this conversation. All right. 150 hours of fridge. Okay. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. Secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravanian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidog himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength. Through the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time, and that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidog last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the keep or the lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene into conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravania. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Carthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garleans' arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Carthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordana. 7 hells. Very well, we will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Aymeric. Through the power of the eye, I have become the vessel of Nidog's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Oh, shit. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidog's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidog, aye. He means to hurl his horde against Danafin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Okay, so I've got Miggerzomer as my... I don't know what to call it. Invisible voice. Stinian has Nidog. Is Iceheart a dragon herself, or does Iceheart have the same sort of situation? Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Aymeric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had expected. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open his gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude toward foreign cooperation comes as something of a bitter victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make a report to the antecedent.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
though this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
I bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of your own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Kurthus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Bravery Slapburn on the brewing conflict. Discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you have Tataru accompany you? He has a talent for administration, and a firm grasp of the practical challenges we may encounter. Alright, so Tataru should be right out here. We are rather close to Kurthus, aren't we? We best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go. I've got 101 things to discuss with Slothborn. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Kurthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers to fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I would not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I am certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf. You might try your luck here in Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who would answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have our town to rouse. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I survived this long by trusting my instincts, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Alright, swing and a miss. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to that scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wyrm was there with the Fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since, have you? God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed a mole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilbur stopped turning up for duty, then black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. And now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad making off with the goods. Folk like to believe our company is a disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley crew of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting the freedom of all. Fighting for the freedom of all. Fighting for the freedom of all! God, all these damn apostrophes. Skipping letters. Got me messed up. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilburd's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When you talk about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And then, and this is just between you and me, mind, there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. There's a villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet my good eye it ain't young Wilbur. Any road, you got a war to wage, so I'll let you get on. Just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you. Anyway, back to war. Ishgard seeks sell sources to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege. Those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I pledge myself to guard Revenant's Toll. Modest work though it is, I'm loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do? So is that a yes or a maybe? I get a definitive answer. Volunteer my services in the defense of Ishgard? Think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I did not mean to offer them mine. I'm supposed to escape such fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I'd sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddle behind an icy wall. I'm gonna say that one's a no. Send my blade to the Ishgardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slayed me fair share if the coin was good. I worked for one of them knights before, you know. Washed me like a bloody hawk, you did. Still, I put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Right, so I've what, 1.5? We got 1.5 people. It's not bad. There you are, Faedwin. So, did you slay any hearts? 1 or 2, eh? Well, add it to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slaffborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphino. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight. And they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you best make your way to Ul'dah or you'll be late. Alphino said that he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I'd hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for an audience had prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Dar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but 2 of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes, the free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
Hey, I have a free company. It's my alts and Apex's alts. We're not just sell swords.
Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Ul'dah to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes,
Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Oh, yeah, we haven't disbanded Ul'dah yet, have we?
Is her grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, her grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Oh. He's so sad. He's on the outside and he's looking in. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Harshfon and Sir Emeric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Phoenix! Captain Ilbear, what news? And the assault has begun. We have but this moment to conclude our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandare, the Steel Vigil. Ma'am? No. Don't you do it. Man the cannons alongside the knights, and thin the Dravanian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. I would have you and your adventure allies bolster the defense of the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Marceline at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. If the gods grant us victory. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent. Then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. I have assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishes are slain. Do I not have... Oh, that explains things. Like, why do I not have healing? Because I don't have my fairy out. Can't believe I haven't hit 60 yet. J. Miller, hello. What news, adventure? The reinforcements decimated, you say? Giovanni and devils, damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Yeah, no worries, J. Miller. Enjoy Lurk. And good luck on Pokemon catching. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you're tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith, the great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation with the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danfin's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus the dragons now are able to land unhindered on the steps of faith. Should the Dranians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It should be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. But ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders of the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? Oh. I mean, hi. Introverts, am I right? I'm trying, Vang, I'm trying. The signs of the 7th dawn. We cannot well stand idly by while the horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisoix has taught us. As for where we may be of most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete. Together we shall stand against the horde. That's good to hear, Vang. I mean, is that good to hear, or does that mean there's a lot of like, hey, go talk to the dude outside. Great, that's a quest. Okay, now he's going to give you a quest to go back inside and talk to me. Great, you've done it. Blink twice. That's another quest. Is it? Faedwin has been trapped in a realm reborn. A realm reborn every day. Over and over and over again. Trust you're ready then. Good, come, let's make for the battlefield. Oh. Oh, hello. That's a big boy. This is the one that used to be a trial. Okay. And I just get to stumble into it. Your item level has been synced to 110. We claim victory this day, or Ishgard falls. Accept the fury into your heart and defend this bridge with your life's blood. Protect the holy sea of Ishgard. Should I not be a healer right now? Because I feel like I shouldn't be a healer right now.
Let's finish this quickly, shall we?
I shall make it quick.
Can I heal these? Whoa! I just ate that. Oh, it's still fire. It's still fire, Kortra. Was that supposed to be a stun? Yeah, I guess so. Everyone fall back now? Where would you like us to go? Way back there? Fly, you fools.
To me!
Is everybody good? Season adventure, no. Oh, okay, someone's got him. Oh, whoops, I saw that too late. It's just trying to save these NPCs. Are we losing? Or do we, is it counting the 3? Okay, I guess it's counting the 3 barriers. It's like these NPCs, they're taking a bit of damage. Supposed to build that tension. Okay. Okay. Are you supposed to overlap? No. Oh, you just got, dude. Oh, shit. Couple people died. That's not great. Yeah, it seems like every time I swap to like DPS or something, one of these NPCs just eats it. I don't know if that's avoidable or not, but... By the way, I keep getting more NPCs picked up. I'm assuming that's accounted for. That's highly unlikely they're saved, if at all possible. I mean, look at the amount of damage that dude's taking over there. Probably intended. Do we lose NPCs over there? I can't tell. No, I think they've been saved. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, where was I supposed to go? I hope they got a healer on that side. Oh, is it just gonna stay breathing fire? Is this like... Uh-oh. Did I lose? Oh, okay, so there's a bar for the Knight's Resolve ticking away. That was neat. The dragons, they're withdrawing. Victory is ours. Yeah, check out those cannons. Wow, those are cool looking. I love that outfit. Color is cool. One of Nidog's greatest champions, slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. What of you, Nidog? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter, I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of the great Wyrm, Nidog, and only your death will sate my lance. Jump! In the original Yeti used a harpoon to pin Vishap down a couple of times. The dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting of the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Leveilleur, Phaedwin, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks for the proper courtesy. Ooh, we're gonna have a date. It was a unique fight, but very long compared to other trial fights. That's why Square Enix redid it. We've indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian hordes thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will come soon when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eurasian Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yet we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me very little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilber back to Ul'dah and reassign those braves whose squad suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Yeah, I like Amric, he's cool. I liked Moonbrita, but they took her away from me. Why not Alphino? Why not Alphino? The one time we needed him, he wasn't there. Welcome back. Alphino sent word of the siege, and of course, of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me. Thank you. You must be weary. Now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent! Yeah, I realized that too late, bang. A message from Oda arrived with a missive for you. Missive for you. Message and a missive. Same thing. The Royal Seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ulnamo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem that we are recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your most valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers' contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Oops. We have scarce had time to mourn Moonbrita, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you are promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with that thought, that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent, and please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I've never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Aught is always amiss. What do they say? Yeah, they send the pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. Okay. Taru, I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Oh, it's you! I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing, exactly. But it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. I always know what to say. I'm glad we had this little chat. I mean, sometimes we just need a friend to nod absent-mindedly at us. Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach this subject, but with all the recent excitement, fate made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest, but I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Boulder and Coldene have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the power to defend myself, and others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Okay, well, I didn't see that coming. Whoa, hey. It's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell with which I might help antecedent? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Oh yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while on patrol. I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer, of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, antecedent. I take my leave of you. The power to defend oneself. Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Perhaps she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Mizlaminsa. Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but I am surely not alone in my concern for her safety. And the other one... I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Boulder with a capable adventurer? I'm sorry to say that I've yet been unable to do so. Now I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents. But I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? Generous to a fault. I thank you. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea taking etheric readings that might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we asked the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Boulder and Courtenay were to act as two escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injuries, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength. Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Okay, so when I inevitably complete this and then wonder why I can't go any further, please remind me that there's another one that's split from. I'm thinking we might hit Heavensward tonight. We should hit it tonight. Excited. As excited as that mage is to put on a lime green blouse every morning. Fadewind, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coldene? Our misfortune has become a blessing. An opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by malms we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Fadewind, we would have you attend the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He's waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Fadewind. In spirit, we shall be together every step of the way. Boulder is amazing. I wish for half of the energy that dude has. At last, the Silence Woman deigns to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Ismar. Come, we are late enough as it is. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand in an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I see we both complete our respective tasks, or satisfactory outcome. So if I can make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future. I'd not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, snake mold awaits, shall we? Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you would keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as they work. I'm gonna swap to Summoner. Good sir, do not buy gear upon hitting 60. Why is that? Safi is crafting a set of healing and casting. Oh, that's sweetheart. Okay. I'll try to remember not to buy anything. Should last for most of your journey through the 60s? Hell yeah. Awesome. It's a killer tree! Oh, I feel so special! Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I'm not given to superstition, but there's a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. As before, my guardian, pray lead me to my task and ensure our safety. Maybe nothing will come this time to attack us. Oh, you know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll just attack them all since I opened up with an AoE, why not? Was lurking on... Yeah, hey, can we get shoutouts, Jonathan? Daku's here, Vang's here. We got a couple people that have been gathering. Nope. I'm not. I'm paying so much attention right now. This data should prove invaluable to... Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoises while my back was turned? Quickly now to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. You chose to paddle in the Ichor a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in yours' ambient ether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's fount. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. Damn, so the branches have branches. Alright. You should be more familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. I like this area. It's neat. She's the head NPC for it. Yeah, I swear I don't remember her saying, like, anything about that in-game. Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th Astral Era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. Something else. Scion, come here. I need you. Oh no, it's a dead person. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. There you are, Faedwin. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Do you remember seeing her in some of the CS for Coil, which is the only reason why I'm aware? Yeah, like, to my recollection, like, I met them at the whole, like, choose a grand company, right? Choose your starter thing. And they had an argument, and she left, and that was, like, the it. That was the it. Words. Her tail looks so uncomfortable. I'm telling you, Safi. I'm telling you. It's so weird. My tail does not go that way naturally. It's a bustier for my tail. It's very uncomfortable. Gutted like a hog, but not by one, no. These ones are made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause has Wilbur come here? What should we do? We'll see to the scholar's protection, Faedwin. I and the boy's remains. You return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. She and Alphino butt heads a few times with the expansions. Hashtag just sibling things. Yeah. I know nothing about her, but I'm already confident that I would rather her be around than Alphino be around. Gut feeling. So do I. Faedwin, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Taru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. And now, at Mistress Tuberheim's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again. Ah, if it isn't Faedwin, what brings you to the guild? So you are acquainted with our newest member. An arcanist of your experience must see that the potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of 3 crates. Doubtless you recall receiving similar training under Kelia's supervision. The thought occurs to me, why not oversee Tataru's training yourself? Given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task, I think you're the ideal choice. You need only head to the cliffs south of the... I can never decide on what sort of accent. The Zephyr Gate, as before, and observe at a distance. Alright. Is Tataru getting jumped by a rabbit? She's got her carbuncle. Okay, that's a good start. It's like, take your Lalafell to work day. This is precious. Where Aesir seized Pirate's Port, where she met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught, came the lass whom none could fool. Beat him with a backdraft, gut him with a gust, deck him with a downburst, go, carbuncle, go! Oh, are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. But we're ready for them, aren't we, carbuncle? Enjoy your lurk, rah-rah. Good luck, have fun. You take care of the flood. Carbuncle? Did her carbuncle run away? Is that possible? Look at Carbuncle. That's funny. Well, okay. Just having a tough go at it, it appears. Does she not have enough gym badges, or what? I should have known you'd come. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I'll inform Mistress Turgheim my intention to withdraw from the guild. Kanama, like so much else, is beyond me. Oh. Back so soon. How fared our fledgling arcanist? Abysmally, Mistress Tubergheim, abysmally. As Phaedon will testify. I was wrong to become an arcanist. Wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tataru, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strengths in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you gain a solid grasp of fundamentals of Arcanuma. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You are too kind, Mistress Tubergheim. If I cannot overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. Curtsy. Oh my god, what if she had to do this quest for like every possible job? As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Suns without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful. Then to Costa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off.
Pleased to meet you.
Standard NPC, thank you for the follow. Yes, this is it. This is where the man of the drowning wench told me to look. There's a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coated by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let's be off. I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. You sense a hostile presence. Morgar! Is that looks pretty close to Leviathan's model. Or I'm completely misremembering what Leviathan looks like. You got some hit points, Morgar. Leviathan is a big angry noodle. This kind of looks like a big angry noodle. That is a small angry noodle. Oh, fair enough. You speak the truth. All 22 pieces of gear are ready? I agree, Tataru. Well fought, Faywin, well fought. Knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. Oh, that's fucking precious. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people, in a way. Right? Well, I mustn't keep Flum waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the scions of the Leminson markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. We better head back to the Rising Stones, so pray convey my apologies to the antecedent and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about until we meet again? You're just gonna walk into the depths. Alright. It looked like she was like, alright, until we meet again. Bloop, 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 bloop. Welcome home. I gather you found Tataru in Lim's Limensa. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure. And while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. You seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? We were dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I'll send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Woodward's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this? And why? But I'm sorry, Fadewin. Doubtless this way is heavy on your heart. We have already imposed upon you so much. Pray take some time to yourself. I dare say you have more than earned a respite. After all, we will be most busy with preparations as the banquet draws near. Should other adventurers summon you elsewhere, perhaps now is the time to heed their call. In order to progress in the main scenario, you must first complete certain quests in the Crystal Tower series. Crystal Tower quest series may be undertaken by speaking with the outlandish man in Revenant's Toll. Do I know you? Ah, unless I'm very much mistaken, you were the famed adventurer bested the Garlean Emperor's general, are you not? The very famed fortunes herself. Amazing. More than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. But I recently received word of a truly unique opportunity, you see. An opportunity the like of which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. The reward? Not less than the accumulated knowledge of fallen civilization. The risk? A single misstep could cost you your life. But what is a little danger to a storied hero such as you? A woman with absolute confidence in her own abilities stands to profit handsomely from this venture. No, no, I crave no recompense for my part in bringing this opportunity to your attention. The historic discoveries you shall make will be reward enough, I assure you. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at St. Coinox Find. It is he who stands at the doorway of untold marvels, awaiting the arrival of a champion bold enough to march across the threshold. Well, if it isn't Fabled Fortunes herself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared and cautious adventurer could very well find herself on an unplanned and unpleasant journey through Thal's solemn halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? I rather thought you'd say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now the first. Babe, when I thought it was you... Oh, it's Sid. I said, which brings you to St. Coinox. Don't tell me. The Alliance is essential another realm-shaking history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe, yes? No? I see you two are already acquainted, and as well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero, caught wind of the forthcoming expedition and has kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? Glad to have you aboard. You don't have the faintest idea what you volunteered for, do you? Very well, let's begin at the beginning. The Sons of St. Coinox are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allagan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. Ah, but I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped to contribute much on the subject of Allagan archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the ultimate weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieved. Nerotel Seva simply awoke it. I mention this by the way of reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable Allagan relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. Now to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona, there stands an entire Allagan structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the ultimate weapon, and the lesser moon Dalamud before it seems wise to treat any remnants from that era with utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. Legatus? I think it's Legatus. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground. But like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from a stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era, and now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot aside. These defenses take the form of statues, carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen. The 8 sentinels, as the Sons are wont to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues or the front door is forever beyond our reach. My colleagues and I are ill-suited for negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you already had a taste for these deadly escapades. Look forward to working with you again. Enjoy your alert, Katie Cat. There's much and more to be done before we begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. Our first objective is to reach the entrance to the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, earth, or wind. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analyses, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks on these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. One of these days we need to set up an actual night for me to stay on for Phasma for the night. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I know we're on every Wednesday, so that, if that happens to open up for you, then let us know, either Ra or me. Yep, I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we needed someone to enter the Beast Tribe's strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. We make for Lunasia, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamara mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastman's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave to your discretion. Whatever you do, please be careful. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastman's strongholds? So these are the famed flawless crystals the Beast drives. I've seen countless specimens by I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You've done very well. With these in our possessions, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind, the former license Zerark. Oh, I thought someone else was doing this entire time. Silly me. The war camp of the Amaja and Thanalin, the latter and Natalan, the roost of the Exil in the hills of Kurthus. You can expect them to be as close to guard as first two, if not more so. Still look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. Okay, now I go back and have all the crystals accounted for. It's good to see you. Tell me, were you able to obtain the remaining crystals from the Beastman? Wonderful. With all 4 crystals in hand, we are now ready to proceed to the next stage of our preparations. I hope I did not get the impression that we would be embarking on our journey to the Crystal Tower just yet. Alas, there is another step which must be completed ere we come to that. While the crystals you acquired are indeed flawless, they are of little use to us in the present form. If they are to reflect the elemental forces of the tower's defenses, they must needs be cut and polished, a process which calls for a very particular set of materials. Curing them will be a challenge in itself, I fear. Needless to say, we will be requiring your services once again. If the flawless crystals you procure for us are to retain their elemental purity during their reshaping process, a very specific set of abrasive substances would be required. Well, I say substances, but one might just as well call them one substance, namely ether sand. There's 4 elementally aspected varieties. Alas, ether sand is neither common nor cheap. Indeed, it is not unusual for the abrasive to exceed the value of the precious stones that are used to polish. Given the rarity of the materials in question, the Goldsmiths Guild in Ul'dah seemed the likeliest place to purchase the quantity we require. When I contacted the Guildmaster, however, I was informed that no ether sand was currently available. I requested that word be sent as soon as new stock came in. I've yet to receive aught but apologies. I should mention at this point that I placed the order some time before you procured the flawless crystals. I am well aware that acquiring ether sand is no small feat, of course, and not an impatient man. But I fear the more we delay our investigation, the greater the risk that the tower's secrets may fall into the hands of other, less savory parties. That is why I wish to entrust you with the payment for our purchase, and send you to speak directly with Guildmaster Serendipity. Mayhap the presence of such a distinguished personage will spur the guild into action. In any event, it is my hope that when we next meet, you will have found at least one of the 4 varieties of ether sand we require. Holy crap. Ah, Mr. Fortunes, welcome, welcome. What brings you here, if I may ask? Here's a lot of money. You're here on behalf of the Sons of St. Coinoc? What fortunate timing. I was just about to contact Master Rambrose with the news that we finally managed to acquire a quantity of fire-aspected ether sand. I'm afraid it may be some time before we can supply the other 3 varieties, but you're welcome to settle accounts for that which we have now. Pray speak to Jimime? Speak to your mama. Jemima of the... I do beg your pardon, it seems she's assisting another customer. Come on, there must be something you can do. Without that sand, we'll have to rethink our whole design. I sympathize with your plight, sir, but as I explained, the ether sand in question is already spoken for. If you'd like to reserve the next shipment, then I would be happy to accept the funds you've offered as partial payment. Partial? Are you saying it's not enough? I've already stretched our research budget as it is. I suppose a man can do without a midday meal for a year or 2. Payment's been too long. What brings you here, then? Got your eye on something expensive, have you? Well now, that is quite a money pouch. The sound of so many guild clinking together is strangely satisfying, is it not? calming, and yet invigorating at the same time. Oh no, you're here for the blooming Aether Sand, aren't you? Well, I can't deny the Allagan civilization is a subject worth researching. Chief said he was looking into something big, but we never thought to ask him what. Wedge and I have been too busy tinkering with a new airship design to think of much else, see? Well, I say tinkering. Wrestling would be more like it. Still, after much wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth, we managed to put together a prototype crystal-powered propulsion system. We got the idea for it when we heard of how you lot had used the corrupted crystal on board the Enterprise, as a matter of fact. Anyway, to cut a long story short, our design calls for all 4 varieties of Aether Sand. And that's why I can't just relinquish my claim on this batch here, even for you, lass. How are we meant to usher in a brave new age of technological innovation, if not by technologically innovating, eh? While I hesitate to interrupt such an impassioned speech, duty compels me to point out that this lady is a representative of the organization that reserved the Aether Sand in question, to mention nothing of the fact that her purse is considerably larger than yours. Oh, it's like that, is it? Alright, this batch is yours. I'll let you have it. If you're going to take my sand, it's only fair that you grant me a role in this project of yours. I'll take that as a yes. It's not every day you get a chance to experiment with the wonders of the ancients. With any luck, they'll inspire me to think up another technological innovation or two. Now then, from what you told me, I'm guessing you'll be needing the other 3 varieties of elementally aspected Aether Sand as well, right? Rather than sitting on your rump waiting for a shipment that may never come, I reckon your time would be better spent looking for the stuff yourself. It just so happens I know a good place to start. There's said to be a peddler in northern Thanalan who, very occasionally, handles the earth aspected variety of Aether Sand. Wedge is in the process of confirming the rumors as we speak. I know what you're thinking. When did my timid little friend decide he didn't need me to hold his hand anymore? The answer being, just the other day. Things have been inspired by a certain adventurer's heroic example. Thought he was joking when he volunteered to go to Thanalan without me. I just hope he manages to stay out of trouble. Head out to Blue Fog and you should find him poking around with his new bodyguard. Oh, did I not mention her? I wish that it would be wise to hire an adventurer to accompany him, just in case your heroic example turned out to be less inspiring than you first thought. Save your greetings. If you're looking for a hired blade, then you'll have to look elsewhere. After the day I've had, the only company I created was the squat, silent type. Type that has a handle and holds no less than a pint of ale. You wish to hear my tale? I warn you, 'tis no stirring epic. But as you asked, my employer, a Lalafellan lad, wished to pay a visit to a peddler who deals in some manner of special sand. I forget what it's called, but it's apparently worth a small fortune. Anyway, when we arrived, the man claimed his stock had been stolen by bandits. Determined not to return empty-handed, we crept to the bandit stronghold and set about locating the stolen goods. Long story short, alarms were raised, rogues were awoken, and we fled in a blind panic. I was separated from my employer in the confusion. I've not seen him since. Oh. Friend of yours, is he? You'd best be prepared for the worst. It's just possible the poor sod may yet be lost in the old Amagina mithril mine. But I fear the bandits will have caught up with him by now. How could I be so stupid? Sneak into a bandit's lair, it's just not the sort of thing I do. Now I'm gonna die for it. No, I need to calm down. I can do this. I can be brave. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna walk out of here. Here we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I promise I'll leave and never come back. Is it really you? But how'd you find me? Can you smell fear? Actually, ignore that smell. I'm wondering why I expect you're wondering why I'm here. I was just in the process of retrieving some stolen Aether Sand, which Biggs and I need for our research, as it happens. I concede, perhaps a touch foolish and very nearly fatal. But I did succeed in snatching the stuff before my bodyguard ran away and several dozen bandits came piling after me with knives and axes and what looked very much like a plank with a rusty nail in it. Anyway, the important thing is that the stolen Aether Sand is right here in my Oh dear. It must have fallen out when I was, taking evasive maneuvers. Seems I won't be leaving this infernal place for a while yet. You'll find the Aether Sand in my stead? Oh, thank the gods. You're a true friend. I hope the search doesn't prove too troublesome. The bandits don't seem to care much for visitors. You gotta go back and hand it back to him. Alright. They didn't attack this time, I don't get it. We had any luck locating the Ether Sand? Yes, that's it. I must return to the workshop at once to tell Biggs the wonderful news. Besides, you're also on a mission to collect Ether Sand? And you're working with the Chief? A treasure trove of Allag knowledge, you say? I see. Then you should really be the one to have this. Biggs and I are far from exhausting all possible avenues of airship innovation, but it sounds as if your problem can't be solved by any other means. This expedition of yours sounds jolly interesting, I must say. I'm half inclined to join you. In fact, I think I will. Any venture worth the Chief's time must be worth a look. Right, I'm more than ready to leave this awful place behind. You should return to Mordana with that ether sand before there are any more, little mishaps. Be sure to keep a close eye on your pockets, Fadewind. You return. I take from your presence that you were successful in procuring us some ether sand. So which variety did you find? I see. 2 varieties. Well, that is 2 more than could reasonably be expected, and 2 less than I'd hoped you'd say. Forgive my flippancy. You have done very well, truly. If all goes planned, we need no longer fear death by fire or earth. Master Garland, if you would be so kind as to prepare the relevant crystals. I shall set to work immediately. Truth be told, I've been looking forward to this. One does not encounter materials like these every day. Speaking of which, how in the 7 hells did you find them? Mistake me not, old friend. I know only too well how capable you are, but ether sand isn't something you can simply find gathering dust at the back of a merchant's rare gem cabinet. You had help from Biggs and Wedge? Trust them to design a revolutionary new engine the moment I turn my back. How's a genius meant to rest on his laurels when his employees are so damnable and inventive, huh? Now they're determined to join us, are they? Typical. I jest, of course. It'd be good to have them all around. Still, as a matter of professional pride, let's endeavor to procure the two remaining varieties of ether sand before they arrive, shall we? Tell me, Rambrose, have we any information on where the water and wind aspected types might be hiding? Not as of yet, but I have made certain arrangements. We shall soon see if my efforts have borne fruit. Forgive me for observing, but you seem less than enthusiastic about that prospect. If there is a complication, I'd rather we discuss it now than risk jeopardizing the expedition. Mayhap an explanation is in order, but first let us savor the preliminary victory that Fadewind has won for our cause, if only for a moment. Yes, I must speak of the arrangements I made to acquire the 2 remaining varieties of ether sand. Some days ago I asked a Charlayan acquaintance of mine to travel to Gridania and there gather the necessary materials. Since that time, however, I have heard nary a whisper of them. To be frank, this lack of communication is not entirely uncharacteristic, but I cannot discount the possibility that something ill has befallen the man. Alas, we do not have time to investigate his fate. As I mentioned before, the more we delay our expedition, the more likely it is that the Crystal Tower's secrets will fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, I would entrust you with the same mission I assigned to my friend. Travel to the Black Shroud and seek out Parsemontre, master of the markets in Gridania. If anyone knows where ether sand might be bought, it's he. Let's try to get it to work. Yes, I'm sorry. Did you say you wish to purchase ether sand? Forgive me, madam, but have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you seek? Well, I haven't seen so much as a grain of ether sand in these markets for many a long year. I tell you where you might find the ore from which the water aspect variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would willingly set foot in that place. You seem undeterred. Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? That is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by a particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the Batusta Nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell. You are too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. You will find no trace of the ore, which but recently lay here. Nay, not so much as a speck. Ah, no, you will never spy me from there. For the time being, at least, you will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed mineral you hoped to find is gone, taken by me. Victoriously made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I have decided to share the location of an alternative source of ether sand with you. The wind touch variety, to be specific. I trust I have your attention. Good. The band of Ixal in the North Shroud keeps the variety of the abrasive for the purposes of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. Ixali logging grounds in the North Shroud should be our destination, and that is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of either sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours. And yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help feeling that the greater prize is mine. This inequity must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Dullhounds. Not what you were expecting. I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into ether sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind, until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record histories as made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, sooner than you may imagine. Who was that? What news of your mission? Are we getting closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? You brought both? I shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. There, that should do the trick. Excellent work. We now possess all four of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. Oh, it was a trifling matter, I assure you. Everyone here is the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from standing up to the Allagan's front door. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs, Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day you get the chance to study the wonders of the Allagan Empire, is it? Your technology makes Garland Malls look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand. The realms have been dragged onto the very brink of destruction. Or oblivion, whatever. On both occasions, we should not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief, it's, freedom through technology? Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Allagan Empire could not save their civilization, and have damn near doomed ours, twice. That is why we must explore the Crystal Tower, and, if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding wills such as yours that have defined the course of history. Who's shouting from way up there? So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why, the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you have not forgotten about the Ether Sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I cannot imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am Gratia, one of the students of Baldesion. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. Gratia has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities, and welcome him as one of our own. So then, our fellowship is complete, and all stand ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah. Noah? That is the name I've chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Koinok, can we? And we must have a memorable appellation of our adventures to leave a mark in the annals of history. I could claim that Noah stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does, technically, but my true reason for choosing this name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted Allagan Archmagus. An Archmagus, I like the sound of that. Very well. Now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Ready. Esteemed colleagues, the secrets of the ancient Allag bacon. Allagan bacon is ours for the taking. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Adventurer, you and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Ambrose, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Allagan history, it seems logical that I should lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can but make use of the resources at hand. Assuming all are in agreement, let us proceed forthwith to the large, lopsided gate found to the southeast. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you are the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the present. I say, the energy radiating from these statues is palpable. Lucky for us that it is. One might otherwise stroll past them. Feast your eyes on the elemental defenses which prompted our lengthy preparations. These sentinels prevent would-be intruders from advancing to within 20 elms of the tower's inner reaches. We've already done this with a rock. Come on. Yep, it's still active. If it wasn't, I'd be pissed. We could just rolled up. No matter how swift they may be. Happily, the crystal fangs we took such pains to crash should spare us the inconvenience of instantaneous annihilation. Here, allow me to demonstrate. Chief, it's too... Next line. Dangerous to allow anyone else to risk his life testing one? Quite right. I made the damn things. It's my job to see that they work. Success! I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. Last one was yours, old friend. Seemed only right. Haha, we did it! So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Faewin and a hand-picked party of our adventuring companions enters the tower. What, without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did, and we will. But our investigations must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside of the place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits us on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Anyone here fits that description better than anyone I know. It is not as if we shall be idle in her absence. While she and her companions are risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable in that endeavor, historian Gratia. Bah! Do you ever tire of being right, old man? Faedwin, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me at least to provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of the tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During this initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. When you are reasonably certain the maze is secure, contact me via link shell and we shall join you post-haste, no matter what Master Garland says. Though we would prefer it if any relics you encounter remain intact, you may have leave to do whatever is necessary to secure ingress to the upper levels of the tower. Fortune go with you.